and I'm quite honest about the fact that I attract people that have sometimes some characteristics that might be not seen as vanilla.
So the fact that she has daddy issues and you do not want to go out on a second date, could it be possible from an NLP standpoint that 5 years ago, if a chick like her, a girl like her, a woman like her, had the same issues, that you may have, rhetorical question, may have continued to go out on a date, but the reason that you are not now is because you've already done a full circle and learned what you need to be taught about women with daddy issues and your own daddy issues or children issues. But, you know, on that note, I reckon like the definition of stupidity is
doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Exactly. So that's what this is all about. So that's a great way to start obviously the transformation of what you're going to bring in. So what do we got here? Steve from Perth.
Now, just before you speak about Steve, because that'll be great, just a little message has come up on the screen there. We're getting lots and lots of messages coming in, which is fantastic. The ones, though, we're actually getting...
My name is Terri Messenger, and I am...
Hey, and welcome to Terri Messenger's Genius Zone. And, you know, this is the place and the space where you are going to get your own free masterclass absolutely free.
Happy New Year and welcome, of course, to the Genius Zone here on Edge Radio Australia. Very excited indeed to be here. A lot going on, a lot of buttons to press, and, well, quite frankly, we're ready for 2025. Who's in the mood for a bit of action here? I certainly am. Now, beside me, well, a bit of a gap, okay? You know, look, you know, I know it's not 2020 kind of gap.
Not a 2020 gap.
No,
thank goodness for that.
No. Look, I always think about... touching me when it comes to the work with me with the song
touching you. No, that's not ABBA. No. What one was that one?
Oh, please. The show has already gone downhill in a hell of a hurry. You can tell Terri Messenger's here. Terri Messenger, it is the Genius Zone. Lovely to have you here.
Oh, my gosh. Look at that. Hello.
It is our first day back, and it is hot in here. Let's face it, is 6,000 degrees.
It is.
That might not be an accurate number. Okay, I'm not a professional when it comes to these things, but
it's got to be 40-something degrees out there today, like seriously.
Well, in my car, driving in, it said 44.
44 degrees.
My car may be a little bit pessimistic, I'm not sure, but my phone said 42.
42? Is that why the beads of sweat are dripping?
I know. It's shocking. It really is. But, hey, we're in here, and we're looking forward to a bit of fun here. Why not? Like, okay, let's start the new year with a bit of a buzz. Now, the great thing, obviously, with Edge is we are interactive, and I already see there is a comment popping up there, so that's fantastic. And it's not one I can put up. But,
for those who can't see,
yes,
me.
But I'll click away. But during the show, we would love to have your comments, whether they be questions, whether they be little storylines. Who knows, right? Just love a little bit of feedback.
Yeah.
This is a big thing with Edge. We love to be interactive. This is the cool thing about social media and doing it live. So I see people popping up left, right, and centre in the corner there, which means it's coming on lots of different fronts. So that whether you're listening on, you could be listening on YouTube, which is obviously a very popular way of listening and watching, You can do that watching too.
And it's there forever.
It is forever.
It doesn't have the same algorithms.
Oh.
So as we become more famous,
right,
the numbers just continue to go up.
I'm not
So
sure
you
I want
start
that.
from 9 and
Right.
you end up at 9 million. But you're already famous, Aaron. So, what am I talking about?
I can see what you're doing there. Okay, I know what you're doing. She's crafty, this one. She's crafty. Okay, we're going to get into people's questions. We're going to do a bit of genius zone. We're going to talk about NLP, but I know where you're going on this. Okay, I did something silly, okay, just before Christmas. Yeah, Christmas-ish. Around that neck of the woods. Confessions, right? We've all got a bit of a guilty secret right now, okay? And my guilty secret is the second date update, okay, that you see all over TikTok and socials and all of that. Yeah, it's cool fun. So should
we bring her on the show, Aaron?
We shall not.
Okay, we won't bring her on the show, but so let's get this right. So you went out on a date.
I did.
Okay, and so will you be going on another date?
Not with her.
Not with her. Okay, now I've heard all sorts of stories on TikTok, right?
Yep.
About why people don't go on second dates. And usually the other person has no idea. Suddenly there they were thinking everything just, went like magic and, the stars and the moon all lit up to suddenly your teeth are like stars. They come out at night. Your ears are like flowers, cauliflowers. So it's kind of like completely the dead opposite to what people actually think. But can I ask, what would be the number one reason? Like if I paid for you, let's just copy off TikTok.
Okay.
So if I paid for you to go out on a date with that girl, because maybe she manifested you and you were the man of her dreams, and then all of a sudden on New Year, those resolutions fall flat, as they do, what would be the reason that you do not want a second date with her? Truthfully, I often joke about this, right? But this is a habit. Look, there's something about me. I don't know. I may as well have a sign, okay, or hang around my neck and say, "Got daddy issues? Apply here." Okay, I attract nutters. Okay, now. Attract nutters.
Fair dinkum nutters. So, okay, in fairness.
Don't be watching Aaron's exes.
No, I've got some great exes, right? The exes that I'm still friends with.
They're just slightly nutty.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
But aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Well, actually, that's where I was going to go lay the disclaimer here, okay? We attract the same. Okay, so let's be honest. I don't think I'm exactly normal, and so I take that on board, and I'm quite honest about the fact that I attract people that have sometimes some characteristics that might be not seen as vanilla.
So the fact that she has daddy issues and you do not want to go out on a second date. Could it be possible from an NLP standpoint that 5 years ago, if a chick like her, a girl like her, a woman like her, had the same issues, that you may have, rhetorical question, may have continued to go out on a date, but the reason that you are not now is because you've already done a full circle and learned what you need to be taught about women with daddy issues and your own daddy issues or children issues.
100%, right? Okay, like if I had not done the work on myself, there'd be a second date and probably a third date and whatever, okay? Or maybe not, I don't know. But I now slow things down in my head. Now I go in there and I kind of go, let's analyze things a little bit, okay? Let's just work out what's going on, what's going right here and whatever. And whenever I see those traits, I don't immediately go, there's no red flags, okay? Like, honestly, some women I've gone out with in the past, I'm not saying, well, I'd say this. There's about as many red flags as Formula One race if there's a 20-car pile-up. Okay, like it's just like it's
like a code red.
Exactly.
I'm more familiar with that at the moment.
Going off. Okay.
Oh dear.
So, who's seen the movie Wedding Crashers? Okay, if you watch the movie Wedding Crashers, the character that Isla Fisher plays.
Okay.
Welcome to my world.
Okay, cool,
right.
Cool.
But the cool thing in that is he's liking the fact that that's his kind of crazy, right? So everybody's got, I'm not here to, and I'm not even for 1 second like saying, I'm not trashing the girl, I'm not trashing anyone.
No.
Because you know what? There's a peg for every hole, right? Boom, boom. Okay. But not this peg.
Not this
Not
peg.
this peg, not this time around. Yeah, I've woken up a little bit to myself.
So
and
it wasn't
I
like she had bad breath or, anything
no.
ridiculous like that. It was just like you just didn't feel it. But then because you are obviously in that zone of, emotional intelligence, and you probably do have the antennas out, you could see that she had daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
And you just did not want to go. Did that trigger you, by the way? Did it trigger you that she had daddy issues?
I don't know if trigger's the right word. I was just aware, okay? And I thought to myself, I'll let the first one go, right? Through the keeper, okay?
Yeah.
And then the next kind of comment came, and then, there's this one comment.
Come on, spill it.
There's one comment that I just thought, okay, right, no worries. She said, I've been watching you.
Oh, right? My goodness.
And not in that context.
Bum.
Okay. And not like, I follow you on social media.
I've been watching you.
No.
More
like, I'm watching you. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
The call came from inside the house. Right?
Oh, dear. That eerie. So she kind of gave you the spook. So she spooked you out.
No, she just made it very clear that like what I want and what she wants are very, very different things.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know.
Do you really think, apart from you being wildly emotionally intelligent, that people can actually know that? Do you think you just know, like it's something that you just know in your knower? Like, does it come from a head space, or does it come from like a gut space where you just go, nah?
I reckon it comes from a place when you teach your brain to stop listening to your heart and maybe listen to your gut a little bit more. Okay? Because I am a romantic. I know this is hard to believe, but I am actually a romantic.
Really?
Some people disagree.
You would never have thought.
Oh, there you go. But I love the idea of love. I want to be in love, okay?
You want to be in love,
yeah.
But does love want to be in love with you?
Okay, maybe not.
Okay.
Some fantastic comments coming through. And look at that. Look, Happy New Year as well. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. Cannot see your name from here because I'm old and blind and haven't got the glasses on. Oh, there we go. That is from Ted or Sass. Thank you very much.
Hi
Happy New
there.
Year. Great to see you there on Facebook. Great. Bring your comments in, everybody. And, of course, a big Happy New Year to everyone. Look, we are at 2025. We are a quarter of the way through right now of this century.
I am so glad. I kicked the butt out of 2024. Do you know that? I was hanging around. I went hard.
Mm-hmm.
I was hanging around my pool last night and I literally, and I mean, the guys that were there with me, they must have just thought to themselves, this woman is stark raving crazy. I was literally doing all this stuff with my hands. I was like, okay, leave. There's the door. I release you. I release you. I release you. Now come to me. Come to me, 2025. Come to me, health, wealth, success, and freedom. Come to me, miracles and wonders. And so it did.
Did it really?
I feel like it already has.
Nice. I actually feel a very genuine optimism about this year. Okay, like so many really cool things have happened in the last few months. Okay, we've got a massively important change in the US, right? Which the US politics, it matters in Australia. Make no mistake about it.
Absolutely.
G'day, Cara. Great to see you there as well. Fantastic. Hello to you indeed. And Happy New Year. Yeah, I mean that's going to make a real difference to our life. It really is. Okay, a lot of people will not understand that in the short term, but it will, right?
It will.
And
Mr. Trump steps up this month, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And
he moves into the White House.
Yes,
he's
already got the keys. Right?
He's got the keys. I thought that.
I don't think
they threw Biden out the back door. You reckon?
No, they can't throw him out the back door. There's stairs. You can't operate stairs.
Oh dear. No. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, can't do that.
Better not say those kind of things on national radio.
Yeah. Well, international, because
international.
We do talk about American things because, quite frankly, we have a very big audience in the US, and a big love to the US out there. Really, love having people on the board. We've had people with messages all over the world, which is just always really touching, and I enjoy that very much. So, but I don't want to become over political here. I'm just saying, I think that this is a great catalyst for really wonderful things coming our way as well. And I just noticed a message in there from Christian as well. Christian, Happy New Year, buddy.
Hey,
looking forward to a massive 2025. I'm
going to come and watch you race those motor cars one day. I'm going to go down there.
Look,
I am.
Do you know what? He's got a new roll cage now. Here comes a man with a bit of confidence, this could get terrifying in a good way, mate. In a good way.
Very good way. Yes.
Because remember, with a roll cage, you can just brake a little bit later. You know,
oh
you can
my
get on the
gosh.
throttle just a little
I've
bit
never
earlier.
been in a race car like that, but I've always wanted to. Just for the
we'll have
record.
to organise that, perhaps.
Yeah.
That'll
So this girl was not your New Year's resolution coming
See how she brought the subject back? See what she did there?
You know, this is the thing, right? Do New Year's resolutions actually work? And if not, why not? And, you know, everybody's kind of like psyched up. I mean, I was driving down the road today and I saw this guy pulled over by the cops. He had no shirt on. He looked like a real larrikin. I thought, yeah, Happy New Year. What a way to go.
What a great,
I mean,
great start.
I literally woke up this morning, Aaron, and I felt this lightness within my body. Now it's time to get into the woo-woo.
Okay.
So, you know, 2025 is the year of the snake. Now, I hate snakes, just for the record. I hate snakes. But I was born in the year of the snake. Now, last year was the year of the dragon. Lisa's a dragon. So I believe it was a great year for Lisa. Not that I should be saying. But for me, it was literally, Aaron, it was the most challenging year I literally have had since I've become a practitioner, since I've become a hypnotherapist. Cool. So it is really cool because when I checked in, it was saying, well, Terri, this is not about you, babe. It's not about you. This is about what you're about to do. It's about what you can do because, you know, unless you've been through stuff, you are not really an authority by experience.
Glad you said that. I just love the fact that you said that because it drives me batty. The amount of experts out there, people who are trying to say, you know, I'm a life coach. And I'm not having a go at life coaches. I'm having a go at people who have not got life experience, but then they want to go out and actually teach it, right?
Yeah.
And there used to be a great saying out there, those who can do and those who can't teach. So probably a bit nasty, right? From that point of view.
Yes.
Because I think there's a lot of value in personal development. I think there's a lot of value in being taught things, right? Like you don't know until you know. Whatever, how it works.
Yep.
So no, I don't actually believe that, but I think a lot of people do get into these spaces and you haven't got the credibility, right?
Exactly. But look at you, Aaron. You are classic, right? Look at what you've been through with your kids, your family. How many calls do you get per month, per week from men who are, you know, ready to jump off a cliff, men that are in distress, people that are, you know, because you've been there, you know what that's like. Yeah. So, you know, as long as you can stand on the other side. So I knew when I was giving 2024 a big kick butt last night that I had to kind of rewind and make it like a reel and go, okay, you can't just dust your feet and go, oh, that was a really crap year, you know, but, you know, this year's going to be great. Yeah, okay, talk to the hand, you know, the other one might listen because really unless you can recognize the learnings from it. So, you know, I don't think it's a terrible thing to say this, but Ian's in hospital at the moment.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was completely incoherent last night. So he's on very high level drugs, let's just say. Okay. And so he was completely asleep when I went in to see him. And I took a candle and I could have thought to myself, I'm talking to the hand. But I sat there and I went right back and I went back on 2024 and I said to him, I reminded him of all the things that he'd been through, all the things that he had to face because he had huge things. I mean, his chiropractic business just suddenly, boom, 6 months, you know, ago, he was practicing. Wow. Today, I'm getting calls from his patients. When's he coming back? You know, so his life.
Such a long time, rather. Okay, you get the trust, okay, and you build up the rapport with your healthcare people.
Exactly.
And he's been doing it for so many years.
Yeah,
he's got a great reputation. I can understand why, people feel almost, I'm going to suggest maybe they feel almost a little abandoned, but it's certainly not his fault because his health has changed so dramatically.
Exactly. But, you know, I was at a party about 5 days ago, as you do, sort of this time of the year.
Lots of parties.
And from where I was at the party, I had to call an ambo. to the house to get him because he had a major infection, and because he's just had his toe removed. So, he's toe free. I don't know how to quite put that
tofu?
in a tofu. Tofu. I like that. That's really good. So,
no one likes tofu. No.
I mean, there I was, sort of not reminiscing, but reflecting on what had happened in 2024. He was absolutely passed out, non-compass. Do you know, today I went in there, bright as a button,
right,
coherent, and he referred to what I did and everything I said last night when I went in there. This goes to show the subconscious mind. So even when people are asleep or unconscious or even comatized, they can hear you. This morning, I woke up, literally, there was this huge thing that just lifted.
Right.
So the snake sheds its skin.
Mm-hmm.
So it sheds its skin, and this is for everyone. So we're all in the year of the snake. You don't have to be a snake to obviously benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a year of renewal and a year of transformation. And, of course, we have really, let's face it, since 2020, there's been so much stuff.
A little transformational too.
Yeah. And the retrogrades on the planet last year with the wars and the politics and everything else, I reckon just put everything in a spin. So if you happen to be an empath, and especially someone really in tune with the planet, you're going to get affected. But now it's time to go, okay, what did I learn? What did 2024 teach me that I'm going to say goodbye to? And actually thank it and be really grateful for all the teachings, all the learnings, and then elevate. Then use it as a springboard, because you know what they say about the bow and arrow? You got to go right back in order to plunge it out. Actually, I was doing a bow and arrow at my sister's Christmas day, and we were like bullseye.
Party at your place.
I know. The actual arrow shot right across. It would have been bullseye if it had been lower. Nearly went over the neighbour's fence, but landed in the garden. But anyway, I'm just saying. So sometimes, to go forward and to launch, you've got to go back.
It is so true. And we talk a lot about our personal stuff here, and probably drive people nuts a little bit. But the reason, I think it's really important is because it's about reflecting,
Yeah,
it's about going, I did this. Now, maybe I did this really well. Maybe I did it really, really poorly. Who knows? Okay, here is my opportunity to reflect, to look at it, to pull the bow back, because if you're going to move forward, look, make value out of that mistake or that experience, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it be positive or negative, make value out of it. Turn a negative into a positive. Okay. And New Year is just the perfect opportunity, let's be honest.
It is. It so is.
Why not use it? Great comment there from Cara. Now, Cara's put, wow, that's awesome. Year of the snake and transforming. I'll put that in my mind. Put it there, lock it in, Eddie. Away you go.
Yes,
Cara.
absolutely. Shed that skin, gorgeous lady. Just shed that skin and know that you're going to emerge into a new skin. So I reckon we can get into the questions. What do you reckon?
Let's give it a crack. Why not?
On that note, I reckon the definition of stupidity is
doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Exactly. So that's what this is all about. So that's a great way to start the transformation of what you're going to bring in. So what do we got here? Steve from Perth.
Now, just before you speak about Steve, because that'll be great, just a little message has come up on the screen there. We're getting lots and lots of messages coming in, which is fantastic. The ones, though, we're actually getting the server is not allowing anything in but Facebook for some reason. So it's just a little thing, can't post from the other destinations, which is very annoying. But if you're on Facebook, or if you'd like to make a comment, jump onto our Facebook page, like, shared, all those things that you do. But when you're there, you can make a comment, because they'll also be coming through with a little blue F there.
A little blue F? What does that stand for, Aaron? Okay, next question. Okay, moving on. Shall we move on to Steve's?
Yep, let's talk about
Steve's question. Steve's from Perth. I am a heavy smoker with young kids, and really want to quit the habit. I've been seeing a psychologist for many years for mental health issues, but it hasn't helped me shift the addiction of smoking. Can hypnotherapy help? Well, is the Pope Catholic? right? Is Aaron Malloy freedom of speech? Is he wearing a hat?
You'd hope so.
Is Terri Messenger sitting here in the chair talking about New Year right now? Absolutely, you can. You can quit. By the way, that was a first part of how we hypnotize someone into quitting an addiction.
Okay.
Because what I just did, and I don't know whether you picked up on it or not.
Well, let's find out.
Hopefully I'm a bit smooth by now and elegant. They call it elegant.
We did play Smooth Operator earlier.
So is that right? There you go. I could feel the Sade kind of vibe when I walked in, you know. Okay, so, you know, when you get really elegant at NLP, it's not clunky and chunky anymore.
Okay.
It just kind of flows. And, you know, what I just did was a 3 truism. So, you know, you with the hat on your head, us sitting on the couch, you know, 3 things, as long as they are factual. So
well,
the
I got that
person
right.
goes,
So do I get a prize? I mean,
well, absolutely, 100%. Here, your prize is that you can go and get me a glass of water. Just joking. No, I'm just, okay, moving on. So, Steve, all right. So, no, all that aside, I know that you're not sitting in front of me having a session right now. I will say this. I'm going to be absolutely, from my own point of view, very, very transparent here. Smokers are the stickiest people to help. Smokers, I don't know what it is, but there is a sticking mechanism. So you are the toughest breed. I've helped out heroin addicts, I've helped out people, but smokers, I haven't had a 100%. So
how can you have a 100%?
You can't.
Though?
But I honestly haven't heard about, you know, people that like, I mean, imagine someone being addicted to heroin for 40 years, losing their kids to DCP and told that they have to go through rehab. They cannot have anything to do with their kids until they quit. He comes and sees me. They say no because the accreditation, like we're not a psychiatrist, but they still let him do it. They did all the blood tests and everything, got him to court. He was clean.
Fantastic.
He had 3 sessions and he got his kids back. Now, with the smokers, yes, but you've got to make a promise. If you're going to make hypnotherapy work, it's got to be on one condition, that no matter how unaddicted you become, no matter how far removed your brain comes from that addiction, because you see, the reason that people stay in an addiction is because their brain is focused on it.
Okay.
So they're not saying when they quit, I've quit smoking, I'm not thinking about the cigarette, I'm not thinking about the cigarette, because they are by saying it,
exactly right.
It literally removes from their brain. So their subconscious mind, unless they have to make it almost deliberate, oh, hang on a minute, I haven't thought about smoking, like Bill. Remember the story about Bill? And forgot his cigarettes and he couldn't believe it. So you remove that part. But the tricky part is that when you quit and you go to a hypnotherapist to quit and you go 5 years without a cigarette, because this is what happens, and then you go, oh, my gosh, I am smoke-free. You know what? I might just have one. And so it's almost
Don't open that door.
I know, but if you tell them, if you tell people this is what happens, they're aware.
Okay.
So don't put yourself into that temptation, because that's like a trap of the devil. It's pulling you back in because it's got you fooled into, hey, I've got this. I've quit 5 years. I'm free as a bird.
I'm cruising here.
So I might just pick a cigarette up, boom. You've got to know that the moment you do that, that cigarette's in control of you, and you've got to be in control of the cigarette. Now, you mentioned mental health issues, Steve. I am going to say that that is one of the biggest factors that needs to be addressed. So I had a lady who sent her boyfriend in. He was a fly in, fly out. And she goes, Terri, can you help him quit cigarettes? You know, he wants to quit. So he came in. And a week later, she goes, what on earth did you do to him? And I went, well, came in to quit cigarettes. Yeah, but I said, is he smoking? She said, he's not smoking, but it's more than that. She said, he's so calm. He's so chilled out. And this is the thing that people...
Did he change to a different kind of cigarette?
Oh, no.
Hey, shall I play some Bob Marley for you? Hey,
Bob Marley, I don't believe it was the vape stuff. Or the hoochie coochie stuff, or the Mary Jane, or the Lucy in the Sky with the Diamonds. No, truly. It was really what happens is if you quit and you are not quitting without releasing the reason that you quit in the first place. In other words, quite often people are smoking a cigarette to give themselves some kind of a
release, perhaps?
Yeah, that breath.
Okay.
And they're actually substituting it with something they're wanting to squash. So they're blocking out something and they're using the cigarette.
Okay.
So when you release the triggers, when you go down deep and you let go of all that trauma and stuff, and you go, okay, you pick up a cigarette, you take it in, you breathe it out, you know what? That is when you can actually equalize it. So here's my quick 60-second moment of telling you exactly what to do. Write a list, get a pen, get a paper, put a line down the center, write everything on the left-hand side about what you love about smoking. I'm not joking. Yes, write it all down. What is so good about smoking? You know, you like it. It's good socially. You can relax. You can take in a deep breath. You feel good. You like the feeling of it in your chest. I mean, it doesn't matter how small or big it is, write it down. And perhaps keep on filling out that list too. Keep it like on the middle of your table.
Okay.
Walk past and fill it out perhaps tomorrow and just add to the list over the next coming week or two. On the other side, and you can do it at the same time, write out all the reasons you want to quit.
Right.
Because this is where the subconscious and the conscious are having a fight.
Right.
You see, they're at war.
Let's get into
because, so on one side of the coin, you want to quit, but on the other side, the subconscious is going, come on, have that next cigarette. You know it's okay. You know you want it, right? So you get kind of pulled in. So you've got to make that list fairly even. But you've also got to see that there is some similarity between the list that what's so good about smoking and the list that is the reason you want to quit. And that's when you can go, maybe I can talk to the subconscious and the subconscious can talk to the conscious and do a bit of a deal.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a negotiation.
I like that.
And, you know, we do a parts integration in NLP where you've got the smoker on the left and the non-smoker on the right, and you get them to talk. And they talk to each other about what's so good about it, what's so good about quitting, until they keep talking and talking and talking. Now, eventually the two hands come together and then they kind of they come together and there's a parts integration. There's a parts integration where you're not beating yourself up for being addicted because that's the last thing you should do. And that both parts understand that, hey, you had a really good reason for actually, you know, smoking. And, you know, it's really up to the subconscious to say, it's okay.
It's okay.
I know that you did it because you thought it was, you know, because there's always that higher intention. So give that a whirl, Steve. Sorry, that was longer than 60 seconds.
No, that's no problem.
The list, what's so good about it? Why you want to quit, all the good things.
Terry, you exaggerate like a fella right there. But anyway, never mind. Hey, I'm going to dive into the streak, which is ABS for kids. Very cool thing. Now, this is something from one of the game sites. I believe this is Twitch. Could be wrong, but that's very, very cool. Happy New Year. Stay happy and healthy in 2025. Also have a good stream. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Good to see, new voices and names popping up. It's always good because I keep saying this, I'll keep saying it till the cows come home. This is so important to be interactive. This is the great thing.
Absolutely.
This is what is different about what we're doing here. Like for all of these years, news and media and all different types of the box has been talking to you. It's been a one-way conversation. No. The box now, we're having the conversation back and forth.
Do you reckon the gamers get addicted?
Oh, no question about it. I know friends who are very much addicted to their games.
Yeah.
So look, good old dopamine is a pretty powerful thing.
Oh, that's it.
But
yes.
I want to throw this out as well, something to Steve. Very quickly, if you are able to make an appointment and see Terri one-on-one, I've never been a smoker. I've been very lucky in that regard, but I've had a lot of smokers.
One puff, wasn't it? One puff.
One
in your
cigarette.
Whole life. You are such a goody, Aaron.
Oh, I'm a goody.
Far out.
No. I had another addiction. It was called motorsport, and you could either spend the money on smokes or nearly killing yourself in a car, right?
You had a good mum or good parents.
Damn straight.
That, to direct you into something that you could get your teeth into. Because I reckon that's half the reason that kids get caught up in stuff, because they get lost.
Of course.
And they go off on what Napoleon Hill calls the drifter. Right. So they're kind of drifting until they kind of latch onto something. And that, whether that's some kind of sabotaging, self-sabotaging, or whatever it is, but you put them into a sport, you put them into a hobby, or like yourself, motor race cars, they're focused, they're gung-ho, like ain't nobody got time for that, all that so rubbish.
It's true. Yeah, look, we all need focus in life, okay? If we've got direction, it takes us away from that sort of stuff. So, there's a couple of little jokes about that. How do you make a small fortune out of motorsport? Well, you start with a big fortune, right? Okay. But, get your kids involved in motor racing, because they'll never be able to afford alcohol or drugs. I mean, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
True.
Right? Keeps them away from it. That's just my thing anyway. But there are plenty of other sports out there. It's good to be healthy. It's good to have interaction with other people. It's a social element. It's the competition. And competition gets drowned out a lot these days. We live in an era of participation awards, which I hate with a passion.
Sounds a bit corny.
It's just ridiculous.
It's like, what?
Because whatever it is in life, you should be trying to win. And it could just be making a bloody pavlova, right?
Absolutely.
And getting the thing to rise. I was watching someone make a pav over Christmas, and I'm thinking, that is a skill I don't have.
I mean, that's magic to someone like you and I then. Man, like that, so to cool. See something like that happen. Like if that's your genius zone, go get it. Yep. And one for you gamers, my question to you would be, are you in control of the game, or is the game in control of you?
Very good question. Look, I, as a 11-year-old boy, did get far too good at Donkey Kong. And
that sound. You still hear the sound?
Oh, I want to buy a machine for in here in the other studio, right? Just so when things are a bit quiet, just pop out there and
trigger.
Why not?
A trigger moment, maybe a happy trigger moment.
But I can also understand the addiction side of things. Okay, so many years ago, I had a really bad accident and was injured, right? So my rallying stopped immediately, right? And I started playing Colin McRae Rally back in the day, back on PlayStation 1. That's how long ago it is. And then 2, and then 3, and then 4. But the addiction to it became an addiction, because that became my outlet, right?
Yes.
So it's very easy for people to do it, because I couldn't do the real thing. And so therefore I was trying to do it.
You made that connection.
Yeah.
So that path that went from you to there, and that gave you that reward system is what kind of pulls you in. Yeah?
Spot on.
And that's how it works, guys. It's all about association and all the things. Should we go on to the next one?
Just about.
Okay. Aaron's printer went a little bit whammo today.
Yeah, it's had a bit of a Christmas break.
So it ate too much pudding.
You've got some hieroglyphics on the page. You can just try and work out what that is.
I feel like I'm hallucinating myself here.
The stupid thing is, the funny thing is, I put it on bold because, let's face it, we're having trouble reading, you and I these days. So I put it on bold and large. Think I made a mistake.
Oh my gosh. So Marlene from New Zealand, please forgive me if I say this wrong.
Hey Marlene.
I know it's a fad in New Year's resolutions, but I really want to lose weight. I'm a size 18 and I don't eat much, yet my friends who are slim seem to eat more than I do. I can't shift the weight. Do you have any suggestions? Suggestion number 1. Why do you want to lose weight? Because usually if you lose something, what do? You try to find it.
Yep.
If you lose your keys, are you just going to walk out without your keys?
It's a long walk home.
Exactly, right? Unless you put your thumb out, and that's pretty old-fashioned these days.
Yep.
But, anything you lose, and I'm a linguistic, and this is something that this is the first law of gravity, literally, with weight management, and that is you do not lose weight. So Marlene, you got to find a different word. So let's start right there. So I want to manage my weight. I want to metabolize so I'm trim, slim, fit, and healthy. I want to be trim. I want to release the excess kilos. I want to be in a size, whatever size that happens to be. But that is it, because if you lose it, you'll find it again.
Yeah,
it'll come back. You'll go. And how many people do you know? You know, they go on these big fatty diets. That wasn't fatty. That was fatty.
Yeah.
And then they lose it, but then they find it again, and next thing you know, they're back. It's all back on.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't want that, right?
I think the reasons why you want to lose weight is the fundamentally most important thing here.
Yeah.
Right? I really do. Right.
Yeah.
As I sit here as a fat fella, right? Okay. Well, let's
what
be
you
honest.
talking about?
Jeez, you do need your glasses. But okay. So, but you've got to have the motivation. Like, okay. So, I mean, I would like to lose weight for health reasons. Okay. It's not about looking a particular way.
Can you reframe that? You would like to what for health reasons? You would like to do what with your body?
I would like to have a better nutrition. So therefore,
I
would like to be a more comfortable weight for my health.
Better.
Right?
Yes.
It's not about like fitting into some clothes, or it's not about how I look or anything like that. I frankly couldn't care. Right.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right with what I've got.
Yeah, if you can get your mouth around it, you can get your head around it.
Yeah.
So the fact is, so if you can practice that lingo of I would like to have better health, and therefore you would like to be what? Is it leaner? No. See, now you're going to go, I don't even want to do that.
No, not at all. I would like life to be easier, quite frankly. I would like more energy. So, I mean, I have a life that sort of go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to sustain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I had more energy, I could sustain it better, right?
Yeah.
That would be and that would make my life better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not, as I say, I don't need to be a size 10.
No. So it's not so you've got, yours is not a vanity thing.
No, it's not.
Girls, they tend to want to do that. But here's the thing, Marlene, you also said, and this is an age-old thing, I hear it all the time, I don't eat much. But could I be right in saying that what you eat, you inhale, and you don't you're not present with the food? You're either hiding it, you're eating it in secret, or you're eating it in a way that your body's not appreciating it. Now, I will say this, the chances are I like food better than you. Now, this is something that, I would love to really put forward. When I say I love being hungry, Aaron, did you know that? Oh, I love it. There is nothing worse. I will not sit down to even my favorite platter of food if I am not hungry, because being hungry is the ultimate key. So here's the thing. I'm going to share this, and I think I have said it on the show before. You've got to eat when you are hungry. Right? Yes. So if you are hungry, eat. Now, some people go, well, what about if I don't even know when I'm hungry? Some people think, but what's happened is that they've turned off their primitive switch. Okay. They've used food as a comfort or as something where they're putting it in their mouth, but they're not with the food. Okay. It's like going out on a date, but you're not really with the person on the date. Like, I don't know whether you were with that person when you're on the date the other day, or whether you were somewhere else in London with somebody else, or but the thing is that you've got to be present. So eating when you're hungry, ask yourself the question, if you feel like, oh, my switch, I don't even know when I'm hungry, ask yourself, am I hungry? Like, am I really wanting food? And then eat. Do not deprive yourself. Second, eat what you truly desire.
Okay.
So let's just throw the whole fad and diet out the window here. Yep. Eat what you feel like, in other words. If you feel like something, then eat it.
Keep away from the rabbit food, all right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Because our bodies are made like that. When we go back to our primitive, the way that God's made us, our bodies will crave. Our bodies will actually look for something. So if it is carbs, people are probably going, oh, no, you can't have carbs, or oh, no, you can't have sugar. The fact is, if you are really craving carbs, the chances are there's something in the carbs that you require. But here's the next part. So eat when you're hungry, eat what you desire, stop when you feel good. And I don't mean stuff your face and then wait till you feel good. I mean, wait until you eat what you desire. No depriving yourself whatsoever. Because when you give yourself the freedom to be with food, eat food, love on food, and taste the food, like be with it, taste it, have it in your mouth and experience it, then it's going to register into your stomach. Your metabolism is then going to switch off.
Don't be thinking
switch
about
on. Switch on.
Don't think about the next bite. Enjoy the bite you're actually eating right now, right? So many people do that. They're eating kind of anticipation of the next one. On that front of like eat when you're hungry. Okay, and I have actually done this. Oh, my word. I actually did a little personal experiment. This is a lot of years ago, right? And maybe I should do it again to get away from the habit of eating. Okay. So, people get used to doing particular things. You get up, you have your coffee, you have your breakfast, or whatever. Okay.
Ice cream at midnight.
Oh, damn straight, right? But you get these habits, but also with 3 meals a day, kind of that habit, or I'm running out of energy at 3 o'clock, so you have a snack, all these sorts of things. I decided I was a little experiment with myself, and I went, okay, I'm only going to actually eat when I'm hungry. Oh, my word. Oh, it's weird. I lost 11 kilos.
Whoa.
Right, okay. And snap. And I realized I'm really not hungry very often, right? And I didn't deprive myself. When I actually had the meals, I had what I wanted, very much exactly what you said. And it was very, very, very good for me. Now, the only mistake that I made, I tend to think on that particular one, is I was doing it for a particular
don't tell me you were on a diet. You weren't on a diet or anything,
No.
A challenge.
I was going to end up being on Big Brother.
Oh, now the confession comes out. Aaron was going to be on Big Brother.
Yes.
You would have won.
No, I wasn't pretty enough. So, anyway, I went through the interview process. Not going to carry on. I made it reasonably far, but it was a long, long time ago. But yeah, I thought to myself,
I love that show. I get addicted to Big Brother just quietly.
This is back in its peak, right? And look, had the radio thing going on. It just seemed like, I don't know, like a perfect fit. And I just thought, look, why the hell not, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and I thought to myself, look, let's be honest, I got a little bit around the tub, and I was much smaller back then too. Oops. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to, just for this role, because it was very obvious to me after the first interview that they were very concerned about the appearance of everybody.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
So they were looking at the way people look. Now, isn't that terrible? Because, do you know the biggest reason people like Big Brother so much? Because of its authenticity. They want to see, but if someone's a fake and they're not being their real self, they'll switch off. But we want to see real people.
Well, it was very much the generation of, and I'll put it straight down the line here. There was a couple of years there at Big Brother, they were really focusing on what they wanted to do is get people in their 20s and 30s all in there, and they wanted them to have sex. Okay.
Oh,
it was about ratings. It was about ratings, and they tried to create that situation.
Yep. So you would have never gone in there for that reason.
Never. Right. So, but I had a friend who was kind of involved in the production process.
Yeah.
Right. So not that did me, it was kind of third hand. It certainly didn't do me any favors, but it did give me the favor of the fact that he said, this year, mate, this is what they're looking for. Right.
Oh.
So there we go.
Heads up
on that one. But it kind of, again, rolls around to like, okay, why do you want to change your body style? Why do you want to lose weight or put on weight or whatever?
Yeah. Okay.
And that was, for me, that's a stupid reason. Right?
Well, I wonder if it was the universe saying to you, you know what, Aaron, you're trying to go against yourself. we're not going to put you on the show because you're trying to be something else. You know, I know someone who did the opposite. They wanted to go on to The Biggest Loser.
Right.
And they ate and ate and ate and
No
ate because,
way.
yeah. So they were already big.
Right.
But they figured that if they stacked on tons and tons of weight, then it would be easy to, you know, shed the weight that kind of came on very, very swiftly.
Wow.
So, you know, Marlene, look, girl, what can I say? I know Paul McKenna does this little thing where he gets you to blindfold yourself. And then if you blindfold yourself, you're kind of like having to experience food in a way that you're not just kind of, it makes you more cautious. It'll slow you down because you'll be going, oh, what am I eating, you know? And then you will become more, you know, open to what it feels like, the texture in your mouth, the way it tastes, all of the sensories, because we've really got to treat it like we are doing our greatest hobby, falling out of a plane. We wouldn't fly out of a plane and be thinking about what we're having for breakfast tomorrow, right?
Live it.
We would be in the moment, right? Be in the moment with your food and don't deprive yourself, girl. Write it down. I eat when I'm hungry. I eat what I truly desire. I stop when I feel good. And now the big cruncher. Thank you. You're welcome. Eat consciously. And that's about like what I said about the blindfold. Eat consciously. Just a quick story. I went to a party one day. This is just to give you an idea. This sounds so arrogant, but let me tell you, I went up and I like to eat and I saw pavlova. I could eat pavlova till the cows come home and it's so light and fluffy. So how much can you actually eat of it? So because I'm absolutely, I will say, addict to pavlova.
Okay.
I will put it in my mouth and then I'll probably say to myself, yeah, I'm definitely going to go another piece. And because I don't believe in depriving, I'll go, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go another piece, but I'll make a deal with myself. I'll wait for 5 minutes. If I still crave it as much in 5 minutes as I am now, I'm going to give myself that. But I promise you that when you let time go by, then you begin, your stomach responds. It's like it's a slow process. And also by being awake and really with the food, you're switching on the metabolism. The metabolism guards are not sleeping at the gate. They're like, oh, okay, into action now. I metabolize everything I eat and drink to be the perfect size. Put your size in there, being trim, slim, fit, and healthy.
All right. And I'm also going to say this. Just remember this thing, ladies. All right, ladies, please.
And gentlemen.
No, I'm going to go on this on the ladies one. Okay. I'm going directly just talking to the women here. Okay. Most men like a little junk in the trunk. Just telling you straight up, stop dressing for other women. If you honestly enjoy who you are, be who you are. I think what you just said is incredibly important as far as like, honestly, if you only eat when you're hungry, it will change your life. It's real. And enjoy every bite. Stop being in the process, right? Just do. Right? Just be in the process going, how good does this taste, right?
Yeah, exactly. And do you know what I say hypnotically to people?
What's that?
Because, of course, you've got to use all these sort of things when you're talking to a person. Of course, it's under hypnosis. But I say to them, when you go fill your car up with petrol, do you put petrol in your car and drive out and then go down the road and look for another petrol station to put more petrol in? So if you don't put more petrol in your car after you fill your car, then why would you put more food in your body?
It's quite a question. I have no answer. I just put the octane booster in.
I cannot believe that.
There we go. All right, we have time. We don't, but let's sneak in one last question.
Okay, one last question. Which one's it going to be? Okay, I'm going to go this one because I did promise this lady. Okay. Because she contacted me. She DM'd me in the silly season, right in that place where everybody's partying and, you know, doing all the wrong things like overeating. Just joking. She's having a masterclass. She's an online coach for divorced women. Okay. So I'm going to put a bit of a shout out, and I'm going to put a link, if that's okay, in my profile. Whether you are going through a divorce, maybe you're on the other side of a divorce, or you're before, but she helps women once they're going through it to find themselves. Her question is, I want to do a mini masterclass. So she's launching her signature program And obviously she's going to be offering a live mini class. Whereabouts do I do it? So where should I host it? Like if you're not hosting it like in suburbia, bricks and mortar, then online, the question is, do I do that in a group or on Zoom? I say go all over the place with the mini masterclass. I say it's totally up to you. Like you've got to feel comfortable. It's like saying, which party am I going to go to tonight? You're going to want to walk into the party that you feel like, I want to be at that place.
Like
or
you were walking onto a yacht.
With the hat strategically tilted. Star sign was Africa. I don't know. Anyway, no, we're not singing. So here's the thing. You've got to feel completely embraced by where you are going to show up. Okay. My recommendation is your group is going to be a great hub spot to pull in the people. Like I've got groups, right? I think my hypnotherapy group is quite huge, but I'm not that active in it. But because it's got the word hypnotherapy, it attracts a lot of people. So show up in that group and now when you say a Zoom or the group, you can do both. This is how you can do both. It's a bit like we're StreamYarding right now. So you have a setting bar that tells you can share it to YouTube or Facebook.
Yep.
Share it to Facebook. You can also be really tricky here, and I know that this is going to be good for coaches and people like that, but you can have perhaps your laptop or desktop and your phone, and you can go live on Instagram or you can go live where you want. And actually, if you are on StreamYard, Zoom, you can share it to, I think, one channel.
Maybe that's something you could, I'm just throwing this out here.
Yeah.
We could probably help on that one, quite frankly.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, if you actually contact us, info@edgeradioaustralia.com through our website, you can just go to the Connect page.
Yeah, we've got we've got some real legends on board here.
We can hook you up.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because this is the thing. It's so good to be able to really, throw out that spider web and just reach millions and millions of people. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's the way to go. Yeah. Okay. That is brilliant. All right, well, it's time to end the show, probably about 5 minutes ago. So we're doing
5 minutes ago.
For us, we're doing all right.
Can I do one last sentence to everyone for the Happy New Year? Okay, guys, I want you to write down a statement. A statement that represents what this year is going to be. It's not going to be 50,000 words. It's going to be one statement. So my statement, for example, is it's going to be the year of miracles and wonders.
Okay.
And there's something about making that claim that makes it speak into reality. Okay. So manifest it. So make that statement, write it down, perhaps put it on your mirror with lipstick if you're a girl. Text her if you're a guy, make sure that you can wipe it off. State it, say it, and just know that it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So the year 2025 is going to be, and then vibrationally become that vibration to match your manifestation.
Okay, we're just going to message coming through there, which is not in English.
Oh, it's not in English.
Well,
is that German or?
I don't know. There we go.
They've got a phone number down there.
Okay, we'll give that. There we go. People want to get in touch. I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
Looks a little sus to me. Not sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, yes. Ring that number at your own peril. I'm not going to.
No, I'm not going to recommend that.
No.
It could be a scammer.
It could very well be. Well, that's part of life. Let's face it.
But then, if you're for real and you might be giving us your phone number, perhaps you could ring us.
Yeah, that'll work.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Send us an email, info@edgeradioaustralia.com. Terri, thank you very much for today. Absolute pleasure. You dragged me out of my holiday mode. But we are here. And on as far as manifesting what we're going to do, right? 2025, here's what we're going to do. We have come to kick ass. That's what we're going to do in 2025. Let's throw all the negativity behind, and the positives, quite frankly. Let's use both of those, the positives and the negatives, as the power it is, the volts in the batteries that are going to run us through 2025. And as I say, we are going to go and kick some ass. Enjoy very much, everybody. Thank you for being part of Genius Zone. It is Edge Radio Australia. Bye-bye for now.
Woohoo!
Do you know, we have had so many rave reviews on this entire masterclass, but to get the absolute best out of it, you are going to do really, really well, and most powerfully potent as you have the whole sequence, Masterclass 1, 2, and 3. Masterclass 2 does require a lot of the teaching and preaching that came through the first masterclass, where we really engaged in, you know, what you're going to look like, how your body is going to feel, what your energy is going to be like. And, you know, these important elements, because so many people get stuck when you say, what is it that you want to call in? They know they want success. They know they want to create this epic business and epic life. But sometimes getting it really clear is the big missing ingredient. So that's why we take you through the element on a piece of paper with your name at the top and the date. Now, we are suggesting you go 7 months out to the future. Now, the reason I'm asking you to be specific is because this is a missing piece that a lot of people forget. They forget to put the date. The universe doesn't know what time it is or what year it is. So you may end up manifesting it 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. And of course, I'm sure you don't want to wait that long. So 7 months is what we have selected, and we ask you to prepare with a bowl of salty water. That is so that you can put your testimonial inside it. This is the testimonial of what your life is going to bring now. So it's going to be very well articulated. Your name in full, the date, 7 months from the time you do the sequence, and then on the piece of paper it will include your body, your health, how you look and feel, what is different about your relationships. Are you more magnetic, more influential? Maybe you've attracted your dream client or your soulmate. And then we ask you to become very clear about how much money you have in your bank account. And of course, this is going to be with the service that you provide to the world that creates that and draws in that kind of money. So being really crystal clear around these elements and being aware of your strengths and your weaknesses is going to make it so powerful. So I trust that you have enjoyed what you've heard, and if you want the whole sequence 1, 2, and 3, then make sure you grab the link. It is in the comments. It is one of the most powerful mastermind classes that I've ever conducted, and if you are ready to manifest your dreams, then grab it. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon.